Hello and welcome to the Strategy of the Week. My name is Jim Penna and I will be presenting tonight's information for you. And tonight our strategy is titled Master Limited Partnership plus VST Revisited. Back in May of 2013 and again in July of 2013, our Director of Retirement Services, Mr. Dan Misch, produced two great presentations using MLPs to create a trading plan that reaped gains from both capital appreciation and cash distributions. And we decided to revisit this investment plan tonight to update the performance of this truly powerful plan. First, let's review some of the questions Dan addressed back in 2013. Number one, what is an MLP? How can I use VectorVest to find the best MLP at the right time? And what is the track record of this trading system? Well, first, a master limited partnership is a publicly traded security with the liquidity of a stock and the tax benefits of a limited partnership. To qualify as an MLP, a company must receive 90% of its revenue from what the IRS deems a qualified source. A qualified source includes all manners of activities related to the production, processing, extraction, or transportation of oil, natural gas, and coal. MLPs offer income through regular cash distributions. They are required by law to distribute 100% of their earnings to partners every year. Now, these quarterly distributions to limited partners are made in an amount specified in advance by a contract. And unlike dividends, these distributions are not taxed when they are received. Instead, they are considered reductions in the investment's cost basis and create a tax liability that is deferred until the MLP is sold. As always, for any tax consequences, we urge you to consult your tax advisor for more information. And next, the master limited partnership is ideal for the individual investor who is seeking current income and tax deferral with a bullish exposure to the natural resource and oil and gas industries. So now let's get into the program and update that backtest to the current date. And we'll start in the Viewers tab and look at the watch list that we'll use to create the custom search Dan built back in May of last year. So we'll start with Viewers, and it'll take us to the watch list section, to the folder labeled Special Watch Lists, where we'll find the Master Limited Partnerships watch list that is created inside of VectorVest. Here we see the MLP sorted by VST. There are currently 134 items found in our watch list. And if I break down the menu, we can slide over just a little to see the type of dividend yield that these MLPs can provide. So from here, I'm going to go to the Unisearch tool where I've created a custom search. We started with the first parameter, which is a stock watch list. Has to equal that Master Limited Partnerships watch list we just took a look at. Next, the stock's dividend yield has to be greater than or equal to 4%. The stock's YSG, which is an indicator of the yield, safety, and growth of that dividend, has to be greater than or equal to 1 on a 0 to 2 scale. Next, we put in some volume and price parameters. It has to trade at least 100,000 shares on a 50-day moving average volume and have a price greater than or equal to $1. Finally, the sort is another important factor in the search we've created. Instead of just VST in a descending fashion, we take that all-important VST number and we add it with the YSG, or the yield, safety, and growth, bringing to the top of the list the best combination of the two parameters. Now that we have our search built, I did go ahead and save it in the folder called My Long Searches by simply clicking on the Save tab. I chose Save As and put it into My Long Searches to save the search within the program. From here, I'll go up to our backtesting tool, and I've run the test in two different ways. I started back in January of 2009 to give it a good 5-year look back and took it right up to yesterday's close. Let's take a look at the settings we used, which will be available to you from the strategy section of tonight's views. You can click and get the backtest settings. But we started with our initial $100,000 investment and a $9.95 per trade. We are using confirm calls. Next, for our automation rules, we chose the MLP plus VST search that I just created. And our stop criteria, very important, VST less than 1 is the stop criteria we're going to use for our test. And we'll see the importance of that. As long as the fundamentals of the MLP are in good shape, we're going to go ahead and hold on to the issue. I ran it two different ways. I went to cash on an automation rules down, and then on the second test I went ahead and held on to the MLPs through confirmed downs as long as that VST stop criteria was not met. And we'll check out the results in a moment. The settings here, we're maintaining 10 positions. We will automatically replace. We'll open all 10 positions immediately, and we will not close any open position when entering the situation. We invest average value of portfolio, and we will not buy any stocks if the stop criteria is violated at the time of purchase. And also, we will not repurchase the same MLP using the wash rule for at least 31 days after the sale. Again, in the first test, we're going to go to cash, and we've got a pretty strong 5-year look back. So those are the settings for our first test. And I've run that test already, and we can see that our total value at the end of that roughly 5 years is $172,000. We had 53% winning trades with a total gain of 72%. Because we were getting in and out during confirmed calls, our commission was a bit higher, and it left us with an annualized rate of return of 13.72%. And our max drawdown was just about 14% using those settings. I then went ahead and ran the same search, and simply during confirmed downs we took no action. And by doing that, what we allowed to happen was that our open positions were left alone until their stop criteria was met. So again, as long as those fundamentals were in place, we were going to hold on to our position and collect our cash distributions. And in that particular run, you can see a significant difference in our performance. Our total value at the end of our little over 5-year test is over $320,000. We've got about 63% winning trades with an overall gain of 221%. Gives us an average annualized rate of return of about 42% and a max drawdown of just under 18% over a 5-year period. That is not too bad. And what I wanted to show was the strength of the performance since Dan's last test back on July 19th of 2013, when it closed at a gain of 143% at the time. So this equity curve answers a lot of questions. When we want to know what's working now, what works through different types of markets, choppy markets, trending markets, well, we can see that this MLP investment plan has worked awfully well. Even in the last few weeks when this choppy market came through, we've had some ups and downs. Well, the MLPs have continued to shine here. Now, these back tests do not take into account the cash distributions that you receive. Back on July 19th of 2013, when Dan did his presentation, he did go through the positions that were being held and went through and actually calculated all of the distribution payouts over a specific period of time. And so this particular gain-loss percentage does not even tell the whole story, as it does not account for those distributions that were made. And another important point, our total commission over 5 years was only $1,100. And if we come here to the reports tab and take a look at our summary report, it gives us a good page of information on exactly what happened over those 5 years. Here we see we've done only a total of 62 trades, 39 winning trades, only 23 losing trades. Our very best trade netted us over $41,000. And our worst trade, we did give back only $3,500. Again, with a commission of only $1,134 over that time frame. So if you're looking to reap rewards from both capital appreciation and cash distributions, we urge you to take a closer look at the MLP trading plan that we've presented here and updated tonight. So to summarize, we simply gave you our 3 W's. First, our when to buy, we're using confirmed calls. Our what to buy, we brought you to the special watch lists for master limited partnerships, and we created a search. We then ran a back test telling you when the optimum time to sell was, and that is when the VST of the MLP dipped down below 1. And that's how we use MLPs in the VectorVest system to grow our portfolio in a strong and simple way. And P.S. on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have a live Q&A webcast. You can register for that webcast by going to www.vectorvest.com/events. And that concludes this week's strategy. As always, if there's anything we can do to assist you, please don't hesitate to call 888-658-7638. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.